look, I can call myself out. There was definitely a portion of the year where calling myself a rapper probably would have been a wild overstatement. Sorry. What's up, everybody? Jack Dawkins here, and I am very excited to speak with you today because I'm going to be talking about my 2021 year in review, going all the way back to January and talking about how we've ended up here where we are in December. Now, before I get started, if you've never met me before, my name is Jack Dawkins. I am a rapper and songwriter coming to you from Boulder, Colorado, originally from New York. And the reason I'm making this video is because I have learned through the Instagram and the TikTok, there are so many artists that either because of the pandemic or throughout the pandemic have just been launching this creative journey. And I am by no means an expert. I am only 12 calendar months into this thing and maybe only 6 months into really giving it a full-time shot. And I've learned so many things, and so I want to take a second to celebrate the wins and also to highlight the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned. I know that for me personally, I have a lot of purpose, a lot of meaning tied into why I'm doing music, why I got into this in the first place, and I know that's true for a lot of you. And so if you're out there fighting the good fight, trying to make beautiful music, trying to connect to an audience, trying to grow, trying to figure out how to do what you love for a living, and I can support you in doing that, I want to help. And if you're not in that creative space, if you're not pursuing that same dream, this video can help you understand what a creative person might be going through, how you can support them, all of which I hope is going to be valuable. Without further ado, let's kick it off. The first victory happened a minute ago when I told you I'm a rapper and a songwriter. To be clear, I have been calling myself a rapper and a songwriter for the majority of the year because I believe in the practice and the doctrine of fake it till you make it, which is own the identity, absorb the identity, move and make decisions as if what you want is already true, is already here. But look, I can call myself out. There was definitely a portion of the year where calling myself a rapper probably would have been a wild overstatement. Sorry. As I'm doing this video, I'm thinking about, I never wavered. I never had a moment's doubt. I had moments of frustration. I had moments of uncertainty, but there was never a moment where I was like, this isn't gonna work and I can't do it and I won't figure it out. The feeling of owning that identity doesn't feel very different from moment to moment. And yet I know there was a delineation of time, and I don't know exactly when it was, when the idea of being a rapper turned into actually being someone who could rap and has songs and can freestyle. And I am by no means great. I don't even know if I'm good yet, but I know that I've put in the work to at least be in the frame of conversation of someone who is able to rap. And for me, that's a massive win because in January, I was sitting in a small apartment in Chicago thinking about this as a really amazing idea with no understanding or idea about how it was going to unfurl or what I needed to learn. If I could go back and look at any of the lists or brainstorming sessions I did back then, most of it was shit. Like I had no idea. I still have no idea about how to get where I ultimately want to go, but now I much better understand how I got to where I am today. And that is so valuable. And so I'm proud of that. That's victory number 1. Victory number 2, I performed live. Only once so far. I'm hoping to sneak in a few more open mics before the end of the year, but I took a poem and 2 songs that I wrote, and I dragged my butt to an open mic at a brewery here in Boulder. There were 0 other people doing poetry or hip hop. It was all like acoustic guitar, country western, blues, which is awesome. And I love that there are musicians obviously pursuing different lanes and different paths, but it was not a hip hop crowd. And I got up there and I did my thing. When you just show up, and you show up with the intention to do something as well as you can. I don't even know if it was good, to be honest with you. I kind of blacked out halfway through, but I know that I spent that whole week rehearsing. I know that those were songs that I had written and properly recorded. I knew that I had gone through the tech 87 times to make sure there was no way I would fuck up when I actually got there. I reached out to the organizer of the open mic to introduce myself and to ask if I needed to bring any special equipment and to tell him I was coming so that if I backed out, I wasn't only letting myself down, I was letting him down because it would make me a liar. I did everything I could to make sure that I went to this event, and I did. I'm gonna make another video about 2022, and spoiler alert, I have a goal to perform live a whole lot more. But within my first year, I got up on a stage, I performed my songs, I got some applause, some people came up after and were incredibly kind and complimentary about the music, which obviously touches me, hit me right in the feels. And so I'm really proud of that. And number 3, I have songs that are like published. And here's the thing, at the beginning of the year, in my mind, like something making it to Spotify, that was it. Like I just wanted to be able to look up my name on Spotify to get my year end wrapped. And like, yes, all of those things happened and I'm super excited about them. What I'm a lot more proud of, particularly given my allergy to process and to systems, is how much I learned about the idea of a single release, which for those of you who don't know, is a good month of work and preparation. Outreach to blogs and playlist curators, creating all of your content for the release itself, texting and emailing all your friends and family to make sure you get a good bump of streams on the first day, registering with a PRO, then going through and actually entering all the lyrics, both manually and so that they'll scroll on services like Instagram and TikTok. Like the number of steps is wildly long. Not only did I learn and understand the steps and go through every guide I could find on doing a single release, but then I did it 3 times. I did it once on the road. Stupidest thing I've ever done. Never gonna do it again if I can help it. At least when I'm rolling solo without a team. But the fact that I took the time and energy to learn it, put it into practice, and got some really awesome results is pretty cool. Like right now, I think I still have 500 monthly listeners on Spotify. I don't have 500 friends, so that means people who do not know who I am, do not know my story, found my music through a playlist or some other, piece of content out in the universe, and came to listen. How awesome is that? Thank you, internet gods. I'm aware that as I enter the coming years, I'm entering into a difficult space where like the joy of just starting is over. I'm going to have to work very, very hard to keep those wins coming in, to keep success happening, to continue to move toward the things that I want and that I'm hoping to reach. Am I nervous about that? A little, because it's not my favorite thing in the entire world, and I'm ready. I know I've put in the work. I know I've gone through other experiences in my life that prepared me. I have the aspiration to find that same joy of just going from A to B, of just making progress, of keeping growth coming online. Now, having said all that, I would hesitate to call them setbacks. And I know that like this adage, this maxim has gotten wildly overused lately, but I don't know if I took any losses. I certainly spent money in ways that weren't very helpful on some different promotional ideas, which I'm happy to talk about more specifically. Leave a comment below and I will tell you exactly what I did, what worked, what didn't work. I can go through all that. In fact, if you want that video, you tell me. But for the time being, I want to talk about more like high level 30,000 feet. So the first thing I would tell you, if you want to go down this creative road, or if you're supporting someone in this creative road, no one cares about your work as much as you do. Let me reframe that. No one should care more about your work than you do. There's something beautiful about this in that it places the power and the responsibility in your own hands. You are ultimately the creator of your destiny for how this creative work goes. And because you care so much, because you are invested in it, you call the shots, you set the vision, you set the tone, you make it what you want it to be. The challenge becomes that level, that weight of responsibility on your shoulders can be very lonely. When we're lonely, naturally, at least I should speak for myself, I look, are there other resources? Are there services? Are there people? Like everyone talks about building a team. So it's like, yeah, I'd love a manager to help do this or someone to take this off my plate or this, that, the other. And the truth of the matter is, particularly when you're just starting out, those things don't really exist. I believe in investing in yourself. I believe in systems and automation. I believe in all of those things. And at the same time, even those systems of automation, even those legs up, they're not gonna make it as easy as you would want it to be. You're still gonna have to work extremely hard, and the vision, the intention, the drive still has to come from you. And so in those moments when you feel frustrated or down or lonely, the important thing is not to think about, man, like who could I pay? What service could I buy? What other thing could I leverage? And instead ask yourself what you need to do for you. How do you need to come back to your creativity, come back to healthy habits? How do you get back into the place where you can drive the bus, the boat, the fucking airplane, whatever you want to drive, the way that you want to? Believing in yourself. I don't know what's going on up there. Believing in yourself, investing in yourself. And when I say investing in yourself, I don't mean like invest in someone else to do the work for you. I mean like you can pay to take a class to learn how to do something and do it yourself. You can pay for a coach to support you as you go through the process of doing it yourself. Anyone you're gonna pay to do something for you will do a worse job than you will. Full stop, 100%. Because their business model is to have 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people like you that they do this work for. How could they possibly convey the passion, the emotion, the enthusiasm, the fire that you have into your work, particularly if you're just starting out and your budget is small? It's just unlikely. Just settle in, get ready to do the work, and drive forward. Now, the second lesson I learned, when you have no following, you can't leverage no following. I can't go to a promoter and be like, hey, I'd love to do a show with you. I have no fans. Similarly, I can't go to a booker and say, hey, I have 45 Instagram followers. You can go back and forth on the value of vanity metrics or what we should or shouldn't be worried about. The ability to use an audience as social proof is almost the same for no following and a very small following. And it is so important that you don't forget that that small following, that early following, those are your people. Because just as the booker would have no reason to book me for a show, the people who are following you, the people listening to your music before you're big, before you're all over the place, before you're collaborating with big artists, they have no reason, they have no incentive to fuck with you. Other than that, they like you and they like your music. That's your tribe. Those early adopters, those people who have your back, the people who jump in your DMs to be like, hey, I love what you're doing. I appreciate you, keep it up. Who jump in your comments. Take care of those people. Celebrate them, acknowledge them, reach out to them. Those people are so, so important. And again, I'm speaking from firsthand experience because I sat there and I was like, man, it's so awesome that people are engaging with my shit and I can't do anything with it yet, which puts me back in the spiral of how do I grow? How do I get more? How do I? And you lose focus on like, how amazing is it that I just released my first songs starting October 1, and there are people consistently liking and engaging. There are people sending me messages. There are people encouraging me. What a gift. What an extraordinary gift. Obvious side note, if you're included in that population and you're watching this video, I appreciate you so much. I'm grateful for you at a level I can't even begin to describe. Thank you. It's not an either or. You can love your small community and want to grow it. Don't lose sight of the fact that even if your audience can't create the opportunities for you yet that you want, they will. And the way that they will is by you nurturing them, taking care of them, engaging with them, relating to them, connecting to them, creating the nucleus of the community that you need to go do what you want to do. Be good to them. My third and final lesson that I want to leave you with this evening, trust is everything. Trust is everything. And there's an internal piece to that as well as an external piece to that. The internal piece, you have to trust in yourself. Oh man, look at all these rabbit holes and branches we're going down. That means two things. You both have to trust in what you are doing. You have to trust that you are either doing the right thing or that if you are doing the wrong thing, you will realize it, you will figure it out. Can't speak. You will figure it out, you will learn, and you will move forward. But you have to believe in what you are doing. You have to post on social media and write your music and record it and share it and believe that this is all part of what's going to bring you, will deliver you to where you want to go. Additionally, you have to believe what you are saying. If you are writing songs, if you are connecting with fans, if you are engaging with people on social media, you have to be trustable. You have to trust what you say. Speak how you speak. Relate to people that you would normally relate to in the outside world. Be trustable. And the reason you need this internal trust is because so much of what attracts people to us, what will help you grow that audience, build that base that you're looking for, is trust. People talk all the time about consistency with social media or with releasing music, being consistent. And it's so often framed as feeding the algorithm. Spotify wants to see you post music once every 28 days, and Instagram wants you to do fucking reels every 8 minutes. Fine. But what consistency is actually doing is answering questions in the minds of people who are meeting you for the first time. I really like what this person said. Is that what he's always going to say? I like that he posts this kind of picture. Is he always going to post that kind of picture? I like this music. Is he going to keep making music like this? Can I trust him? Can I trust her? Can I trust you? And if the answer to that question is yes, you are lucky enough to be given this small and finite amount of time, attention, money, and energy that each of us is dealing with. And for anyone to give you any of those four things is a miracle, considering how much effort and money people are paying to compete for that attention. But what so many people get wrong is that they go for the hook. They go for the easy sell. They go for the big splash of color. And that's cool. We like cool shit. It's like a fucking bug zapper light. It'll attract people in, but it won't keep them. Trust. Trust is what will keep people with you. And if you want to grow, if you want to make money, if you want to do this for real, you need people to go with you. So trust should be at the core of everything that you do. Internally, it should be what you rely on, what you expect, what you look for in your own messaging and your own creativity. And it should be behind everything you project and put out into the world. I am trustable. I am consistent. I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. And here's something that I think people get wrong. That can include mistakes. Again, it goes back to trusting. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it believing that it's gonna give me the outcome I expect. And if I get it wrong, I'm gonna go back and be like, this is what I thought, and I was wrong. And now I'm going in a different direction. That is still trustable. It's arguably more trustable than lying and saying you didn't mean to or you misunderstood. I have a background in restaurants. We're going down a small tangent here. The one thing I could tell anyone who's opening a restaurant, works in a restaurant, etc., if you fuck up, you will get so much farther if you acknowledge and own your mistake and then find a way to make amends than you will by trying to brush it under the rug. I've seen colossal, you can't even imagine failures. And I've seen the two different ways to approach it. The acknowledge, apologize route and the like, hurry up and pretend it never happened route. I think you can guess which one works. So that's my 2021. I wasn't a rapper, now I'm a rapper. I had no songs on the internet, now I have songs on the internet. I wasn't talking to anybody, and now I'm talking to you. I think that's awesome. I am gonna do another video on 2022. I have some very specific goals about which I am muy excited, and I can't wait to share them with you. In the interim, this is something I am working on, and so I appreciate your patience with it. Please, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications. I'm trying to put out at least 2 videos a week. I wanna share this and so much more with you, and I do want to grow this channel. I wanna grow this community of people, because I give a shit. That's it. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll be back for another video soon.